In a galaxy full of colors and strange worlds, peace reigned for 3,000 years. The Galactic Council, made up of different alien races, ensured that everyone lived together in harmony. They celebrated festivals, shared knowledge, and explored the stars together. Each race had its own unique abilities and cultures, and they learned from one another. However, beneath this peaceful surface, whispers of fear began to grow. On a vibrant planet called Xandor, high above the colorful city, a secret meeting was taking place. Powerful leaders of the Galactic Council gathered in a dark, hidden chamber. They were worried. A small group of council members, led by a stern-looking alien named Varnak, shared their concerns. Humans are growing stronger every day. They are developing technologies we cannot control, he stated, his voice echoing in the room. The council members listened closely as Varnak continued. They have united many races under their banner. If we do not act now, we may lose our power. His words sparked fear and anger among the other leaders. Many agreed that something had to be done. They thought that humans, with their innovative spirit and determination, could pose a threat to the peaceful galaxy they had built. As the meeting continued, tensions rose. An alien with shimmering blue skin named Leora spoke up, "But humans are not our enemies. They have brought so much to our council. We cannot let fear lead us to war." She believed in the spirit of cooperation and felt that the council should embrace humanity, not push them away. But her voice was drowned out by the growing panic in the room. "We must show our strength," Varnak insisted, his eyes narrowing. "Let us make the humans the enemy. A small attack will send a message. They will know not to challenge us." The council members exchanged glances, unsure about this drastic plan. Some hesitated, knowing that war would bring suffering to all races. But fear clouded their judgment, and the majority voted to proceed. The council agreed to send a small group of their strongest warriors to attack a human colony on the outskirts of their territory. The plan was to make it look like an independent faction was responsible, not the Galactic Council. This way, they could avoid backlash while still sending a clear message. The meeting ended with a sense of unease, but Varnak and his supporters felt triumphant. Back on Earth, life continued as usual. Humans worked, laughed, and explored their planet, completely unaware of the brewing storm in the galaxy. As the sun rose over the horizon, the colors painted the sky in beautiful shades of orange and pink. But for many in the Galactic Council, the sun was setting on a time of peace. Days later, the attack occurred. A small fleet of ships, sleek and menacing, descended upon the unsuspecting human colony of Nova Terra. The aliens unleashed a barrage of weapons, causing chaos and destruction. The humans were caught off guard, scrambling to defend their homes. Families fled as their buildings crumbled under the assault. The council members watched from afar, convinced that their plan was working. However, this attack was a turning point. Instead of cowering in fear, the humans quickly realized that they were under attack. They rallied together, ready to defend their world. As news spread, leaders on Earth convened to discuss their next steps. They were shocked but determined. They would not let this act of aggression go unanswered. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council celebrated their supposed victory, believing they had crushed the human spirit. But little did they know this attack would awaken something fierce within humanity. The stage was set for a conflict that would change the galaxy forever. The seeds of war had been sown, and humanity was about to show the Council that they were not to be underestimated. This first part ends with a sense of impending conflict. The Council's decision has set off a chain of events that will lead to unexpected challenges for both sides. The audience is left eager to see how humanity will respond to this shocking betrayal and what the future holds for them in the galaxy. The attack on Nova Terra shocked humanity. People across Earth were glued to their screens as news of the destruction spread. Videos showed homes in flames and families running in terror. Anger and fear filled the air. How could anyone do this to them? The Galactic Council, once seen as a protective body, now felt like a threat. In the capital city of New Horizon, a group of leaders gathered in a large meeting room. They were worried but determined. President Elena, a strong and wise leader, stood at the front of the room, her voice steady. "We cannot let this attack define us. We must understand why this happened and how to respond." Her words calmed the room, igniting a spark of hope among the leaders. A young advisor named Sam stepped forward, his face serious. "We need to gather information. We cannot fight back blindly. We must know who is behind this and what they want." The leaders nodded in agreement. They decided to send out teams to gather intelligence on the Galactic Council and any possible allies. Meanwhile, back in the Galactic Council's chambers, the mood was quite different. Varnak and his supporters celebrated their plan's apparent success. "We have shown the humans that we are powerful," Varnak declared, his eyes gleaming with pride. "Now they will think twice before challenging us." But not everyone shared his excitement. Leora, who had argued against the attack from the beginning, was deeply concerned. "You think this victory will last? The humans will not take this lightly. They are resourceful and brave." Her voice trembled with worry, but Varnak brushed her off. "They are weak! This attack will keep them in line," he replied dismissively. Leora felt a growing fear in her heart. She believed that the Council was underestimating humanity. She knew they would not back down easily. Back on Earth, the leaders began to mobilize their forces. They called upon their best scientists and military strategists to devise a plan. They worked day and night, gathering data and studying the Council's technology. They quickly realized that while they had advanced weapons, they also had something more powerful: the will to fight for their home. As humans prepared for the coming storm, tensions in the Galactic Council grew. News of the humans' resilience reached Varnak. He paced nervously in his chamber, knowing that the Council's actions had stirred a sleeping giant. "They will retaliate and we must be ready," he warned the other leaders. Despite Varnak's arrogance, some Council members began to doubt the wisdom of their actions. A wise elder named Tarek spoke up during a council meeting. "We have crossed a line. War will bring chaos to our galaxy. We must reconsider our approach." He urged them to reach out to humanity, but Varnak's followers silenced him. They were too committed to their path. On Earth, the atmosphere was electric with determination. Humans began to unite like never before. People from different backgrounds, cultures, and beliefs came together, fueled by a shared purpose. They held rallies and slogans of unity filled the streets. "We stand together and protect our home," echoed in the air. With each passing day, humanity became stronger. They upgraded their defenses using their creativity and resourcefulness. Engineers and inventors worked tirelessly, creating new weapons and defenses. They even revived forgotten technologies, merging them with modern advancements to create powerful tools for their fight. Finally, the day came for humanity to make its stand. The leaders announced that they would no longer tolerate the Galactic Council's actions. They would fight for their freedom and their planet. The message sent shockwaves through the galaxy. As the humans prepared for battle, Varnak and his supporters in the Galactic Council laughed, believing the humans would crumble under pressure. But Leora remained silent, a deep worry etched on her face. She feared the upcoming conflict would not just change humanity, but the entire galaxy. The stage was set for a showdown between two very different worlds. The Council's dangerous move had awakened a fierce spirit in humanity, and the outcome of this conflict was still uncertain. Both sides were preparing for what could become one of the greatest battles in history, unaware that the true fight was just beginning. After the shocking attack on Nova Terra, humanity was not going to sit idle. Across Earth, people were filled with a mix of fear and determination. They gathered in every city, united by a common goal to protect their home and stand against the Galactic Council. The message was clear. They would not be pushed around. In the heart of New Horizon, President Elena convened a critical meeting with her top advisors and military leaders. "We must show the Galactic Council that we are not weak," she began, her voice firm. "We need a plan that will surprise them and defend our planet." The room buzzed with ideas and strategies as everyone worked together to create a strong response. As the sun climbed higher, ships and vehicles prepared for the battle ahead. The military had transformed every available resource into weapons and defenses. Drones flew overhead, gathering data and scouting the area for any sign of the approaching enemy. The scientists had worked tirelessly, and now their inventions would be put to the test. On the other side of the galaxy, the Galactic Council's fleet was preparing for the attack. Varnak paced back and forth, confidence dripping from his every move. "Those humans will crumble before our might," he declared to his supporters. "We have superior technology and strength. They are nothing but ants beneath our feet." As the two forces approached each other, tension filled the air. The Galactic Council's ships, sleek and powerful, cut through space like blades. On the other hand, humanity's fleet, a mix of old and new technologies, was brimming with courage and determination. They may not have been as advanced, but they had something special: unity, and the will to protect their home. The first shots rang out as the two fleets met in the vastness of space. Lasers and missiles illuminated the dark, and the sounds of battle filled the air. Humanity's ships, piloted by brave men and women, responded swiftly, firing back at the enemy. The sight was both beautiful and terrifying, a dance of light and destruction. In the heat of battle, Commander Sarah, a skilled pilot and one of the leaders of the human forces, maneuvered her ship with precision. She remembered Elena's words and felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. "For our families!" she shouted, rallying her crew. They fought with fierce determination, pushing back against the Galactic Council's might. Meanwhile, Leora watched the battle unfold from the Council's command ship. Her heart ached as she saw the destruction. "We need to find a way to end this without more loss," she whispered to herself. She had warned the Council about the consequences of their actions, but her voice had been drowned out by Varnak's arrogance. As the battle raged on, humanity's resilience began to shine through. They used clever tactics, outmaneuvering the Council's ships and launching surprise attacks. Dr. Malik's inventions proved effective, as new technology countered the Council's advanced weaponry. Humanity's creativity and resourcefulness were on full display, and they refused to back down. Back on Earth, people watched the battle unfold on screens, their hearts pounding with every explosion. They felt a mix of fear and pride as they saw their heroes fighting against the Council. Families gathered together, holding hands, praying for the safety of their loved ones in the fight. As the day wore on, it became clear that humanity was not going to surrender. With every ship that fell, their determination only grew stronger. They fought not just for survival, but for a future where they could live freely, without fear of oppression. In the Council's command ship, Varnak's confidence began to waver as he watched his fleet take damage. "What is happening? Why are they fighting so fiercely?" he shouted in frustration. Leora stepped forward, her voice steady. "They fight for something greater than themselves. They are united, and that gives them strength." As the battle reached its climax, a signal came from the Galactic Council calling for a retreat. Varnak was furious, but knew they had to regroup. "This is not over," he screamed, anger coursing through him. "We will come back stronger." But on Earth, cheers erupted as humanity realized they had held their ground against the Galactic Council. The fight had just begun, and they were ready to continue the battle for their freedom. United in spirit and purpose, they had shown the galaxy that humanity would rise against any threat, and this was only the beginning of their fight for survival. The battle had been fierce, and as the dust began to settle, the remnants of the war hung heavy in the air. Humanity stood together, battered but unbroken. The Galactic Council had retreated, but their threat loomed large. Yet amid the chaos and destruction, a new sense of hope blossomed on Earth. As the last remnants of the Council's fleet vanished into the stars, President Elena addressed the world. Her voice was filled with emotion as she stood before the gathered crowd of soldiers, families, and supporters. "Today we have shown that we are strong," she declared, her words echoing across the battlefield. "We stood together and fought for our freedom. Let us remember this day as a moment when humanity united against oppression." Cheers erupted, filling the air with a sense of triumph. But Elena knew that the fight was far from over. They had faced the Council, but they also needed to prepare for what was to come. With their new allies, including Zora and other alien races who had witnessed the battle, they began to discuss how to defend their home more effectively. In the days that followed, scientists and engineers worked tirelessly, refining their technology and defenses. They learned from the battle, analyzing what worked and what didn't. Dr. Malik led a team of inventors, pushing the boundaries of what humanity could create. "We need to stay ahead of the Council," he insisted. "We must build stronger ships, better weapons, and more effective strategies. Our survival depends on it." The unity formed during the battle didn't fade. Humans and their allies came together to share knowledge and ideas. They built a new coalition, an alliance of peace and strength. This coalition was not just about defense, it was also about understanding each other's cultures, values, and histories. They organized gatherings, festivals, and forums to celebrate their differences and find common ground. As the coalition strengthened, word began to spread across the galaxy. Many planets that had once feared the Galactic Council reached out to offer their support. They wanted to join the alliance, to stand together against tyranny. Humanity was no longer seen as a weak species. They were now viewed as brave and resilient fighters who had stood up to oppression. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council was in disarray. Varnak's overconfidence had cost them dearly. In the council chambers, members debated what had gone wrong. "We underestimated them," Leora said, her voice steady and firm. "Humanity has proven they will fight for their freedom. If we are to conquer them, we must change our approach." Varnak was furious, but knew he needed to listen. "What do you suggest?" he snapped. "They are just humans," Leora responded. "They are more than that. They are united. If we want to defeat them, we must find a way to divide them. But we must be careful. They have allies now, and we cannot afford to underestimate them again." Back on Earth, preparations continued. Elena held regular meetings with her allies, sharing updates and strategies. The military was expanding, and they trained together, preparing for any future threats. The streets buzzed with hope, and communities came together to celebrate their unity. One day, Zora suggested they send a message to the Galactic Council. "Let them know we will not be intimidated. We will stand together, and we will fight for our freedom." The coalition agreed, crafting a powerful message that resonated across the stars. As the message reached the Galactic Council, the words echoed in the minds of all who heard it. "We are united. We will not back down. We stand for peace, but we will defend our home." In the weeks that followed, Earth began to change. People from various backgrounds and cultures worked side by side, united by a shared purpose. The spirit of cooperation and camaraderie flourished, showing that they were stronger together. As they moved forward, humanity realized that they had not only fought for their survival, but had also found a deeper sense of identity. They were no longer just Earthlings. They were part of something greater, a coalition of diverse worlds united against oppression. In the end, the battle against the Galactic Council had opened a new chapter for humanity. They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing they had allies and that their unity was their greatest strength. The future was uncertain, but together they would build a new beginning, one filled with hope, courage, and the promise of freedom for all.